Oh man, the story is not changing. It's not changing. It's not changing. So welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most, and here's another high school student gunned down in the grill. This is right after we just completed 2 teens shot dead in Portmore, right? And I mean, there are more that happened along the way within that time. We're just getting tired of actually reporting these stories, but we understand the importance of, because we don't only report these stories, we report the stories, but we dive in depth about things that need to be discussed surrounding these things. So let's get into this one first. The story headline says from the Loop is that an 11th grader from Green Island High School in Hanover was shot and killed by an unknown assailant in Negril, Westmoreland on Thursday night. The deceased had been identified as 18-year-old Kayan Price, also called Kai, and also called Penge, of Negril, Westmoreland. Now, reports are that about 7 p.m. Price, which is Penge, and a friend, another male friend, were sitting under a tree in a yard, chilling. Friday evening, 2 men rode up on a motorcycle. One of the men dismounted, got off the motorcycle, walked over, and opened fire, hitting him multiple times in the upper body. He took off running, realizing he was shot, collapsed in a nearby yard, and died. The shooter then escaped on the waiting motorcycle in the direction of West End Main Road, and the police were alerted and Price was taken to the Savin Lamar Police Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Now, how many of these stories have we heard about motorcycle pull-up, killer get off, fire shots, or stay on the motorcycle, fire shots, escape, nothing seen, no one knows anything? I could do a whole lot of supposing in this story. I'm willing to bet that this was not random. 18 and you're in the 11th grade. I don't know. Maybe the school system has changed, but I think it was 16, maybe even 17. 18 he might have been left behind. That doesn't say either here nor there. Here's my thing. I did a video on this recently where I try to explain to people that the words school, kids, teens, those words are not what they used to mean. Nowadays, school kids that are teenagers are actually big people, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say demonize our children. I'm not trying to say look at them as adults, because surely a lot of them do not, majority of them, if not all of them, do not have the mental capacity of a mature adult. Hell, some adults don't even have the mental capacity of a mature, intelligent adult. But I'm saying the things that these teenagers or children are getting involved in at 18 years old, you're no child though, but yet still you're a teen. That's why it's called a teen. Even 19 is still a teen. You understand? Young, very young. They are getting involved in things that we find shocking when we find out what those things are. A lot of them. I was watching a video recently of what a girl named, they call her Mackerel now, the latest sensation out of Jamaica. And you know, I like to wish everybody well, so me seeing this girl and watching her mannerisms and hearing certain things she says, I could tell that she's had a traumatic life, a traumatic couple of years, maybe her whole life been traumatic, but I can tell that she could do well with some counseling, some help, right? So when she come out with the tech people man thing, I said, hey man, if that I got bust for her, make it bust for her. maybe it can lift her out of poverty and help her to take care of her situation. Only to learn that she is actually 18 years old and she is the mother of a child that is 5 years old. So if you're 18 and you're the mother of a child that's 5, if you do the maths to that, she was 13 years old when she gave birth. And if you think about that, that's when everybody realized that this 13-year-old was having sex. That's not when she actually started having sex. She probably was having sex when she was 11, 10, and 12, right? She breathed by the time she was 13. So I draw that. And if you don't know who Mackerel is, then you must not be on social media, because she's the latest craze out of Jamaica. The Star done featured her how many times already. She recently did an interview with Anthony Miller on ER, and she's been making the rounds doing promotional spots for different parties and different clothing stores and hairdresser, beauty salon, and so on and so forth, and security company even, and all these other things. So here's my thing. These kids are no longer kids, right? But the narrative doesn't change. So we can keep on talking about, okay, gunman keeps on shooting up and escaping in broad daylight or in evening down a route where everyone should know what's going on there and nobody sees anything. Of course, in Jamaica we have the see and don't talk kind of mentality. See and blind, hear and deaf. Walk and talk, walk and live, talk and backlot dead. You know how the rest go, right? Inform of it dead, all these kind of things. So a lot of times people see stuff but don't say anything. Coupled with the lack of CCTVs that we're still calling for. Now, I must tell you that coming back from Jamaica recently and going to places that I'd never been before, like for instance, this incident right here took place in Hanover, Westmoreland, Thursday night. After setting foot in Westmoreland, I realized that that terrain there is a hell of a terrain. And you must know that Westmoreland is known for like bike taxi and yang bikes. So there are a lot of bikes all over the place. So the story, the narrative of gunman pull up on a yang or pull up on a bike, which is most likely a yang, got off, bust some shot, kill the person, jump back on it, disappeared down so and so. There are going to be a lot more of these happening, and police won't be able to solve anything no time soon. In other words, the terrain alone in these places presents a difficulty to law enforcement with no leads as to motive or what might have happened, or was the brother involved in a fight earlier with James and James come back and James bust shot and this, like we don't know anything about the incident. What I can tell people though is it's very unlikely that this 18-year-old was just sitting under a tree just chilling and somebody just randomly rode up and decided, I want to kill somebody today, you are my victim, and just jump off the bike and bow, 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 kill him, jump back on the bike and disappear. Pardon me. Very unlikely. More than likely, it's somebody that he has had some altercation with. Now, what kind of an altercation or what kind of a interaction, we don't know. And we can only speculate. It can be fight over a girl. It can be over gun. It can be over drugs. It can be a simple disrespecting. It could be just anything. How are they going to make this better? After leaving Westmoreland recently and seeing the terrain of the place, I don't know what to tell you. Because even if we put CCTVs on main roads, there are so many hilly terrains. And people, when I say hills, I'm talking about Some stuff that you would never expect a vehicle to be able to mount. And yang fly up and in and out of them places there with ease. So, and these are places where there are neighborhoods in these terrains, complete neighborhoods, multiple houses, full families. It's just, it would be like almost impossible. Unless, here's a solution. Every street and lane needs to have a name. Every street and lane needs to be named. Every street and lane needs to be geographically mapped. You know how you can map stuff on Google, because Google Maps is now in Jamaica, you know, and you can live in the smallest crevice of a corner. If you put that in Google Maps and it's a named location, Google Maps is going to find it and lead you there in Jamaica. So for those of you who haven't been back in a while, you don't have to go and get lost again. People don't walk and get lost like that again. Everybody have a smartphone, right? And from you have little credit on it and network service, then you can definitely find places. But I think more places need to be cordoned off, recorded, documented, named streets. Name one SouFlo Street, name one next to YouTube Street, name one next to at that over there street. But put names on the street, street signs, names, and then we work on putting up surveillance in all these named streets and lanes. That's the only thing I can suggest. It's a sad situation that these young kids keep on dying like this though. 14, 15, 16, barely make 18. And the stories just keep coming back to back to back to back. I'm wondering, what's the future looking like? Because the elders are old, and it's like they're the ones that's keeping it together. They're old, right? The elders are old. They're going into passing away, whether it's by illness or old age, just the natural cycle of life. Then you have middle age. It's like elders and middle age around. Majority of the young people aren't living to get to grown people age, if you know what I mean. So how it go? And we could draw this conversation out some more to talk about how other entities are investing heavily in Jamaica and taking over a whole lot of the island, while the younger generation, who's supposed to be our tomorrow, are fading away now. Then you get to kind of see the dismal picture of what the future might be looking like. You know what I'm saying? Now, rest in peace to this 11th grader here, Penge. Life cut short. Don't know what things you were involved in, but it's a life cut short. And regardless of what you were involved in or your circumstances, it's a promising life cut short. Right? Because I know them say, not anything when I gone bad, don't dash it away. Or if it not dead, not dash it away. Well, him dead. Now dash him away. Sending my condolences. Trying to figure out what the hell the madness is going on. How we are going to at least calm this down a little bit. And I'm telling you from boots on the ground, a terrain that, like majority of what I saw in, say, Westmoreland, the Jamaica government is going to have a hell of a time. Alright? Leave your comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. It's SouFLoTV, man. I'm up out of here. Peace.